great. My name, again, Nubian King from Israel, broadcasting Northeast Africa, the Holy Land. Mhm. Before you get comfortable listening to me, this is going to be a short one because I'm talking about the pineal gland. Let's go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe so that you can be on the loop. Excuse me, you're going to be on inside when I drop a new one, and hit the notification bell also so that when I post these delicious, intelligent videos, you'll get notified. And when you get a chance, you can sit down and listen to them. Okay. Now, listen, I'm actually inspired to do this video because I listened to a sister's video. She was talking about the power of the mind and downloading information, and that was real powerful and it motivated me. I sent a comment over to her. She had commented that she enjoys my channel, so I sent a comment back to her that she has inspired me to speak on the pineal gland. I'm seeing many brothers and sisters that are speaking in the realm mental consciousness, where many brothers and sisters are beginning to understand the power that we have because of so many years of seeing negativity about ourselves. Then that has done a terrible job on our self-esteem as a people and the self-love that we should have for ourselves. Now, I want to talk to you about the pineal gland because this is another element that we have as African Edenic people that are indigenous to this world. Now, listen, I know some of you all may not want to deal with this reality. Black people and white people are totally different, built different. Everything about us is different. Now, I'm no longer going to sit on the side and hold all this information to myself and my family. I'm going to share it with you because you need to know yourself. You need to know the power that you have. You need to know. I spoke about the DNA series that they put the information together, but then they copyrighted it and sealed it up because the only thing they want to show black people are our failures and negativity. Okay. But here you can come to me and I'm going to show you the person you are that maybe you never known, how great you are on many levels. And why is it our enemy is constantly 24/7 working overtime to keep us in a state of self-hate? And he's able to manipulate us. Having 9 DNA series in European, having only 6, and animals 5, 4, and 3. In their studies, I told you, I'm just kind of re-emphasizing as I go into the pineal gland because all of this is dealing with the power of the Nubian king and queen, the ones they call black people. I don't even like calling us black people because I told you black has no standing at law. And I love the Nubian queen, the Nubian king. Remember, words has power. You can say things and cause everybody in the room to absolutely hate your guts. One sentence, you could just do it, destroy everything. On the other hand, you can say one sentence and everybody in the room would just love you. How you do that comes from a level of understanding your own power and abilities. Now, Let's talk about the pineal gland. The sister, she was talking about downloading, and she mentioned the ancestors. Well, I had did a podcast with a sister a few months ago, and I explained to them about the ether, and our ancestors actually put the real critical information in the ether. Okay. And the only one that could get it is us. Marquette Triplet, shalom, shalom. How you doing? Shalom, shalom. I hope everything is going great with you. Marquette Triplet, I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name, but it's a pleasure to have you on board with us. So the ancestors, they uploaded all the real critical information from the times of Egypt in the library of Alexandria. Okay. The Europeans went in and they took everything that they felt would benefit their diabolical plan to rule the world, and they burned the rest. And they lied to the world and say they burned all the books of Alexandria, but the world didn't know they stole some of the critical information. But here's the deal. Our ancestors, being extremely wise and understanding, put the information for us in these days in the ether. That's that element of existence that is not physical, is energetic, is energy, that the only individual that can tap into the ether are us, their children, their descendants. And being able to tap in requires you to adhere to certain basic standards. Number one, being you gotta cleanse your body. Okay. You can't tap into the ether and download that incredible information that our ancestors left for us, that we're the only one that's able to get it with a body filled with filth. Because what they're doing, they know we have those 9 DNA series. They know that we are superior, intellectually superior than them. They didn't put the information out. But being that they understood our mental superiority, what did they do? They began to devise ways to attack our high level of consciousness, to bring it down to their level. And once we were brought down to their level, then they was able to manipulate us into all kind of madness and keep us totally discombobulated as a people. But now it is a great awakening taking place amongst the Nubian brothers and sisters, the one they call black people. And so I listened to the sister video, and she was talking some powerful points about the mind, and it inspired me to lay this out about the pineal gland. Listen, again, I'm going to use their studies. And who are they? I'm talking about white people who has been our enemy, whether you want to accept it or not. Truth has no, you don't need a master. You know what I'm saying? They have been our enemy. Now, be clear. Not every single white person walk around is hating on black people. And the ones that's in power, the ones that have the finances to make things happen, they have been our biggest enemies. That's been putting out all this negative propaganda about us, mainly Hollywood. And you all now should know who controls Hollywood. Okay? Now, for something that you can have about yourself that you and only you possess, not them, no European can have this. They was not gifted with this. You see, if you all don't know, let me say it now. The European, the Euro Gentile, the white men and women, they have reached the end of their time to be on this planet. They came here with an expiration date. Right now, in the United States of America, they have reported that there are 26 states in America that have a zero white people birth rate. Now y'all want to know why they flip Roe versus Wade. They need every baby. Hey, that little baby maybe, that bandit male came from a rape. We need him. Trying to hang in here. A zero. You see, the information I had, it said that they was at a negative birth rate, meaning 1,000 died yesterday, 1,000 white people died yesterday. Then today only 700 white people was born. So they 300 deficit. But no, the latest report is that 26 states in America have a zero. They mean they have no white babies in the past year that they have birthed. So that means people of color, black folks, all you got to do is stay healthy and keep living. And now you can understand a little better what they're doing. You know, it's like when you see Bill Gates and all these heathen bought up all this land in America, you have to ask yourself why. And then these are the same creatures behind putting out all of this this stuff that is doing all these negative things to the people. They're the ones behind that. The whole depopulation situation, you know. And then when you look at them, I had to ask myself, sometimes I say, man, they, you know, people be talking about aliens. Them dudes is so ugly. You ever seen Boris Johnson? Have you ever really looked at Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg? You know, these billionaires, they some strange, weird looking white people. You know, it's like they are ugly. I mean, you know, you sitting on $56 billion. Can't you go buy a nice face? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, seriously, the ugliest people in the world are the richest. Look at the Queen of England. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they've been around so long, it's like it became normal. Have you seen the Queen of England and the King sitting next to each other? Two of the most grotesque, ugliest beings, and they're the ones running things. Now, we got to get to our understanding of who we are and what we're about. And this information here I'm break on you right now about the pineal gland is something that our people have never been introduced to. The pineal gland. And I remember a couple of years ago, when I first started talking about the pineal gland, I had not heard absolutely no one, zero, talk about the pineal gland. But they listening. They listening to me. You see all that other stuff out there with the people, you know, doing all this dumb stuff to get likes and views and everything, the real silly stuff. Because the majority of the people have been dumbed down to a point they can't really digest this type of information. You understand? I go live, one people, two people, three people. They go live 3, 30, 40,000. But then when you listen to what they're saying, they ain't talking about nothing really. You know, it's easy stuff, dumb stuff, simple. You know, you don't, you know, and then they gone. But nevertheless, when you look at what we're working with here, now I'm going to take the information, I'm going to share information that they put out. See, this is how you have to do this now. Because if you just say stuff, all right, then somebody going to jump up and try to contest it. And shamefully, we have black people that contest certain things and facts that we put out. When Vietnam is where one reference I use. When those bodies was coming back from Vietnam, the bodies was actually under the auspices, property of the U.S. government, under the auspices of the military, because you signed up, you soldier, and so if you come back alive, great. That's a, hallelujah. But if unfortunately, sadly, if you came back dead, the body still was under the auspices of the military, the government. All right. So they did autopsies. They did autopsies on those bodies. And they found that the pineal gland of the Nubian brothers and sisters was flesh, just like the brain. But the pineal gland of the European, the white people, was calcified like rock, stone. Now think about this. Where's the pineal gland located? It's in the brain, at the base, back of the brain, tucked up under there. And you know the brain is nothing but flesh. You understand? Flesh with all these gazillions of electrodes and nodes that's got all this information and all this energy and electricity moving around in the brain. You understand? The most number one complicated part of the human body that they still can't figure out the who, what, when, where, and why. But the pineal gland is a gland that's tucked in the back of the brain, tucked up under there. That gland next to that brain, you just supposed to think with your just like simple mind. Yes, it should be fleshly, meaty, and gushy, just like the brain. But on the white people, their pineal gland was calcified. It was rock like stone. Now, how you walking around in your head where everything's supposed to be all fleshy and juicy and the pulsating electricity, and you got a rock in your brain? Okay, let me tell you about the pineal gland. The pineal gland, how does it work? What is it there for? What does it do? I talk real simple and clear so you don't misunderstand it. The pineal gland is the only organ that have one of the most sophisticated function in the body. And what does it do? The pineal gland takes thought energy and convert it into physical energy. What does that mean? Let's break that on down. You can have a thought in your brain. It's not anything tangible. You can't see it. No one can see it. You can't grab it. You can't hold it. You can't feel it. It's a thought. But that thought was rooted in energy because it was in the brain. So in the brain is what? Nothing but energy, pure energy. So the pineal gland can take that thought energy and convert it into physical energy and connect with your physical environment. Let me take you a little further. What does that mean? That means that your thoughts can be manifested into physical realities. And it's the pineal gland that make it happen. Boom. You see how simple it is? You want a house. You want a car. You want some love life. You want a man. You want a woman. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you may want in the physical realm, once you have the thought of that desire in its pure thought, that you are not distracted about anything. This is why people be talking about vision boards, meditation, visualization. You see, they're coming out on the kindergarten level. Okay. But I've been dealing with this for years. I've been in the pyramids of Giza. And so going into the pyramid of Giza takes you to that incredible level of mental consciousness. I had spoke before on someone else's podcast, and I told them about the ancient Edenic way of consciousness through the root of Hebrew, Tikiyah Hakitza Kima. You're waking up in a 3-stage process. And so the master that brought me into this said the last stage that I had to go to ascend to that height was I needed to go to the pyramid in Egypt. You understand? So So what I'm sharing with you, my brothers and sisters, y'all take this out and share with other brothers and sisters. Get them to come here and listen to this. That our enemy discovered that the brothers and sisters pineal gland was flesh, like the brain, and the white people pineal gland was calcified. So now you understand, woo, how is it that they do these things? And it could be so mean and hungry to black people and just shooting and killing and all these damnable things. They're not even connected with this reality. That pineal gland give us that connection that our thoughts can be converted into physical reality that calls us to be able to connect with this creation that we are a perpetual part of. Now, that 26 states that have reported a zero birth rate amongst them, that proves what all these brothers and sisters have been saying all along, that they have a recessive gene that can't procreate but so much, and then it's over with. They're reporting these things. So now I'm sharing with you about the power of your mind and your ability to think and make things happen. Michael Jordan, the great basketball player, I remember when he was still playing on the court, someone reporter asked him, Michael, how did you just do these things? Michael's made a real simple, powerful statement that I think I might have been the only person that heard it. He said, I just think about it and just do it. That's all he said. He said, I just think about it and do it. But I think 99.99% of the people that heard that did not have a clue as to how powerful that statement was when he said, I think about it and just do it. But see, the difference between him and them, him being a Nubian brother with a live, active pineal gland, his thoughts can be converted into physical energy. And so I saw him run down the court and jump at the top of the key. And he literally flew through the air and waved at the camera and dunked the ball. And that's what has been his, icon signature. But he said, I think and just do it. Now I'm sharing with you tonight the way that thought process goes into physical reality is by way of the pineal gland. And that pineal gland converts your thought energy into physical energy. I don't know if you all heard that broadcast where I explained to you what I did to my children. When my children was little and coming up, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I had to meditate a lot. And then we would go to the dining room table and take everything off the dining room table and put a glass of water there. And I had all of my 6 children to sit around that table and look at that water to make the glass move. When I explained it to them about the power of the mind, you see, by them being children, they had learned and no one had told them you can't do that. They hadn't grew up in a white man world who is our enemy, discouraging you about tapping into your powers and abilities. They only knew me and their mother. You understand? And like the things I've been sharing with y'all, can you imagine living with me every day? I used to take my two of my daughters. I got 3. I used to take 2 of them out. The other one, she was with her mother. She's a model, right? But I used to take them out. And then the third one, I would take them all out. And we go to the mall and sit down. And then we just sit there. All 3 of us, me, my 2 daughters. We're just sitting there, not talking, just sitting, looking around. And then I asked them, I said, that woman that just walked past us to the left with the brown coat on, what color was her shoes? And they like, oh. And that, oh man, Albert, we didn't even notice. I said, okay, no problem. So we sit there a little, and people walking back and forth. I said, that was a guy that just walked past here with a briefcase in his right hand. Did he have a shirt on? And what color was the shirt? The guy had the briefcase in his right hand. He had a coat on, and you had to really notice him. He had a blue striped shirt on with some jeans. and them girls caught it. You see, I was doing with their mind? I was opening their mind up to be highly sensitive about their 360-degree environment. You understand? So these are my children. This is how I did them. And then we went to that table and I put the glass, it was half full of water. And I told them we have the ability to think and make this glass move with our mind without even touching it. And they was like, oh, really? Yeah. You know, they're just children. And I'm their father. They love me. I love them. And we sat down at the table and we had that glass there and we stared at it and we stared at it and we stared at it. And you're not going to believe this. The water in the glass started vibrating. It was no earthquake. It was nothing outside shaking the house. And when that happened, all my babies said, whoa, Abba, did you see that? The water moved. Abba means father in Hebrew. Abba, did you see that? The water moved. They was convinced. See, when you do these certain mental exercises, it calls you to move from believing to knowing. Believing is real good. I mean, that's great. But here's another thing. The initiates that have transcended knows that believing is not good enough to actually activate the power of your mind. Just because you believe, you know, when you believe something, really, there's still a little smithing, how they say, slither of a doubt in your belief. Oh, I believe it. But there's still a slither of doubt. So you have to transcend beyond believing to knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like you endeavoring to do something. You believe you can do it. The only reason why you set out to do it is because you believe you could do it. If you didn't believe you could do it, you wouldn't do it. But in your belief, you hadn't been convinced that you actually can do it. You did it because you believe you can do it. So you started. Boom. Once you was able to actually accomplish it, bam, you instantly move from believing to knowing. And that's where you tap into the power. That's where you tap into the power of your mind. You know you can do this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, you taking care of some business. You doing whatever your life, whatever you got going on. And you got to do it with people. So you need to go to this office and get something done. And the person in the office need to process this paperwork, do whatever, I don't know, whatever you're doing. And that's an individual on the other side of the desk that you need to deal with. Now, when you walk in there with this level of knowledge, knowing that you can do this, it don't make no difference what the hell that person's saying. You're there now. And you look them deep in their eye. And as you speak to them, you're thinking and seeing visually in your mind what you need them to do. And they will pick up and do it. And it all happened through the pineal gland because at that moment, your thoughts were so focused and not distracted by any other thoughts that person literally picked up on your desire, and now they doing it. And you did it because now you listen to the Nubian King, and Nubian King told you that, yeah, you can do that. And it all happened through the pineal gland. That's how you have to understand that. The pineal gland is that gland at the base of the brain that can collect your thought energy and convert it into physical energy. And that's how you can make things happen. This is what your enemy never wanted you to know. They never wanted you to know you have 9 DNA series. They only have 6. They never wanted you to know your greatness. They kept that away from you, and they always show you your failures and your losses and terrible things. but they never wanted you to know just how exceedingly great you are. Do you know gold is expensive? Do you know platinum is expensive? Do you know palladium is expensive? Do you know diamonds are expensive? But did you know that the most expensive subject substance? Do you know that the most expensive substance on this planet is melanin? I'm gonna let y'all digest that a little bit. Huh. You didn't know that? Mm-hmm. See, I'm telling you, you all got to know, man. I am so exceedingly thankful. I was born a brother. I may not have all the money I want, may not be living in the big luxury mansion I want, may not have that yacht that I need, you know what I'm saying? And that Rolls Royce Phantom I'm going to get, black with velour, you know what I'm saying, interior, have my letters, my name, and then the beautiful sister I'm in love with, her name over there in the chair. You understand? The lavish furniture. May not have that right now, but damn it, I got melanin. I know who I am. I know who you are. And I'm not going to treat you like a hoochie, because even you may be hoochie business and doing hoochie stuff, I ain't going to carry you like that, because I know who you are. I know you caught up in a system that have convinced you that's what you should do. But hey, I gotta be the oddball. I'm gonna have to be the one to sit you down and say, baby, listen to me, sweetie. Do you know, according to the creative process that they call God, do you realize that He made me from the dirt of the earth? That's what they say in their book. That's what they say, right? And then He made you from me. The point I want to share with you, baby, is if you haven't thought of it, you and only you are the only woman that He made with His hands. So I don't know, when they were saying touched by God, I don't know if they really was equating it to that at that level, but every other woman on this planet is a derivative of that Nubian queen. God almighty, no. With that melanin, that is the most expensive substance on this planet that they not gonna tell you about. I heard these heathens was trying to buy melanin, you know what I'm saying? Something like $50,000 a ounce or something, trying to get some melanin. You know what I'm saying? Melanin is such an incredible substance. They still researching and discovering things about melanin. You understand what I'm saying? And so when you get to knowing these things about who you are, it's nowhere in the world you can be walking around with your head down and scared of your dog color and shamed of that. You see, the 9 DNA series of what they put out, they did that. Why did they stuck out to do that? They said they wanted to once and for all prove that black people are inferior to white people. And it backfired all up in their face. Come to find out, they said through their research and studies, because you know they always trying to figure something out, the more DNA series constitute the more intelligence. That's what they said. So, they figured that, I mean, they really been convinced that black folks is ignorant. So they strike out all over the world to find out how many DNA series black folks got compared to them. They did themselves first. They did the animal first, chimpanzee, monkey, orangutan. They had 3, 4, and 5. The white man, which is the European, had 6 DNA series. So he felt good. He felt like he's above animals. But damn it, you only one DNA series above animals. So that's where they're all in bed together with each other. That's why they got brothels over in Europe where they have sex with animals and sheep and everything. Called 5 and 6 is right there with each other. But then when they went through Africa, they found out them African kings and queens living out there had 9 DNA series. Man, they got that information copyrighted and put it on the shelf. It's smart brothers like me and a bunch of other folks that watch Dr. Johnson on YouTube break it down to you. You know what I'm saying? So this is how incredibly different we are from them. And so going out there, again, with Euro Gentiles. I'm not talking about Asians and those. I'm specifically, am I saying it right? Not Pacific, because Pacific is a body of water. Specifically speaking about the Euro Gentile that came out of the rock piles of Europe. That strand of beast on the planet. And they're the one that came with the expiration date. And that's why they have a negative birth rate. So all we got to do as Nubian kings and queens is to stay healthy and keep living. And they dying off. Okay, 26 states in America reported a 0 white baby birth rate, none. So now you have to look at the food situation. See, these bandits, they know what the hell they doing. Why is it so hard to get real good natural food in America? Like, okay, they say organic food. My question is, where the hell are they growing all this organic food? Bill Gates owns more property in the United States of America than the U.S. government. So he definitely ain't growing no organic food. That heathen, this nigga, he doing whatever artificial, because he's the whole face of the depopulation, Margaret Sanger, depopulate the world. So he definitely ain't trying to put nothing healthy out there for you so you can, live forever healthy. So my question is, where is all this organic food coming from? Then when you go in the health food stores across America, man, they got canola oil, partially hydrogenated and hydrogenated canola oil. Canola oil is the worst oil on the planet to consume. I'm 61 now. My birthday was July 24th. I'm 61, right? When I was in high school in Atlanta, Georgia, we used canola oil in the automotive course that I studied. And because of my mechanical skill, I was able to service the sewing machines. And in servicing the sewing machine, I had a jar container of canola oil that I used to oil the sewing machine with, because the sewing machine had those small parts, delicate, and it needed an oil that wasn't too heavy, to lubricate the machine. And it was canola oil that was shipped out of Canada, that was made from a seed called rapeseed, that the seed was a genetically modified substance that the name is rapeseed. That, words have power, and I don't even want to be dealing with nothing with a word that's connected to such a grotesque act, rape seed. You see how demonic that is? I mean, they real subtle with their wickedness. You understand? You got to be super sharp to stay on top of this bandit, because he's super. He's this brother said it real smooth. He said he's intellectually wicked, evil, But anyway, all we have to do is stay healthy and keep living. Now, if you are living in the United States of America, staying healthy and keep living is going to be your challenge. Because I see what's going on out there. It's some crazies running around with guns. And I ain't talking about just the one they talk about, the mass murderers. I'm talking about the Joe Blow that, get mad because a sandwich have a little bit more mayonnaise on it. Because you got a gun, that's what you're going to do, And I done mentioned on so many occasions to Black people about leaving out of America. Well, that came with a lot of blowback, but they talked about me, and came up with a gazillion reason why they can't do it. But getting to that point where you realize you can't do it after your loved one and got killed is a tad bit too late, buddy. They done. And then you get in them other countries and you find out it ain't like that, that these people been lying to you all, been lying to you incredibly about America, the greatest country in the world. They running a sight game on you because they don't want you to leave. Who gonna do all the drugs, drink up all the liquor, buy up all the spandex and all the other stuff that black people are? $2 billion on shoes, and with $800 million on bubble gum, all kind of stuff like that. And you talking about black people leaving America? That's billions and billions of dollars that they don't get. So no, they're not interested in you leaving America. Are you kidding me? They can stand out there in the street talking about nigga go back to Africa, monkey, all that. But shit, you try and go get a passport and go to Africa. Did you all know that they will not send your retirement benefits if you go to Africa? Okay, you go to Europe and settle down and live in Europe, they'll send you a little retirement benefit. But if you go to any one of those 54 countries on the continent of Africa, they ain't sending you jack because they don't want you there. They don't want you there. They want you to stay right there and keep taking that ass whooping, and they don't want you to talk about it. They don't want you to say nothing about what they're doing. And so at a point, it's like, when you gonna take that big brain and think right and get the hell away from those that hate you? Look, I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, 1961, 7:47 in the morning. I weighed 17 pounds and 7 ounces in the 7th month, July. There I was. Okay. I was out there with Dr. King, Andrew Young, Malcolm X, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I did all that. You walk down the street, the brother hit you with the final call newspaper, slap you in the chest, boom, bang the call, brother, scare the hell out you. But I eat that bean pie like a mug, though. That daggone bean pie was off the chisel, man. Then I go over to Yashin Fish Place and load up over there with the fish and the tartar sauce. Please. But I left because I saw what was happening. Shit, please. Mm-hmm. See, you got to travel. Okay? The pineal gland, black folks, y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? Now, he sit up, when he heard me talking about the pineal gland, he sit up and came with this channeling stuff. He's channeling. Oh, he's channeling. He's up there, sound like a daggone nitwit. He channeling. Anything to keep you stuck on stupid, making himself feel like the authority. But that clown was listening to me. No one had said anything about the pineal gland until I began to speak on it. Now he want to run in front and get in front of it to have all y'all listen to him, and he ain't spitting out nothing to you. Like he's the authority and all that there, the pineal gland. No. Your pineal gland don't work, so there's absolutely no way that you can break it down how it works, because yours don't work, mine do. So I'm talking to my people, the beautiful Nubian brothers and sisters that have an ear to hear. That's what I'm giving it to. That's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you, because you need to know, the darker you are, the more melanin. Oh, let me grab this out of my head right quick. I heard that they figure out the weight of a black body, and they know how much melanin they buy per ounce, and they have a calculation for the weight of a black body, something like $25 million of melanin in that body. And so the dead African American is very, very expensive. And now you wonder why so many of our people pop up missing. Young sisters missing. Young brothers missing. Because we in the midst of a heathen that has unimaginable evil. You can't even process it. You can't even get there. Because with your high level of consciousness, you can't go down to where his evil, demented thought process exists. You can't even go there. You can't even imagine it. There is no, you know, praying for a better day from that person. They're doing what they're doing because that's what they do. You can't change their nature. That's who they are. If you haven't seen up to this point that they haven't changed, then I don't know what you've been looking at. If you sitting around thinking you're going to change Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John, you wasting time. Okay, look at it like this. If you're going to live 100 years, you already 60, you ain't got but 40 left. In the first 50, all you did was struggle with them. You had 10 years that you basically okay. Now you got 40 more years to live, right? You already struggle with them 50, so you're going to waste them other 40 years trying to change a bandit that ain't never going to change because that is his nature. That's what he was created to be. Now you're going over trying to talk Satan into becoming an angel. That's crazy. Don't do that. Don't do that. And yes, right now, this day, right now, okay, it's August 1st, 5:30 in the morning, 2022 here in Israel. I'm talking to you. It's 5:30 in the morning. Now, if you got another 40 years left on this planet, do you realize that there are places right now today, August 1st, 2022, on planet Earth that are so exceedingly beautiful and peaceful, you don't even know about it. Why? Because they got us stuck on stupid. You don't even know about it. Why they got you on the plantation? See, slavery never ended, people. Slavery never ended. They just updated slavery, changed a few things, the aesthetics of slavery, the word, you know what I'm saying? The look of slavery. They changed all of that. For these days, have you been on the road? If you live in a major city in America, when the last time you took a road trip just 20, 30 miles outside of the city? Okay, when you was out there, did you notice who was in the cars going up and down the road that far out of the major city? White people. When you get out of them Miamis and Atlantas, DC, New York, Chicago, LA, San Francisco, Houston, Dallas, when you riding out there on the highway out in the open road, all you see is white people out there. You didn't know that. You didn't notice that, huh? I do. So where the brothers and sisters at? They on the plantation back there. Them office jobs. You know, you going in the office with your little cute outfit on and your tennis shoes, carrying your Starbucks high to your spot on the plantation or your cubicle in the computer, you know, and doing your little job. You know, got your little cheap car over there, $10,000 car. You're making little notes on $210 a month. Got your decent apartment, $900. You know, got you some money left over. You go shopping, do a little something on the weekend, go to a club or something. You know what I'm saying? And get ready to do it all over again. The modern day plantation. It looks good, but you still don't own the business. You don't own the field. You don't own the business. You didn't own the field. Now you don't own the business. You working there. You worked in the field. Then you working in the field called the office. Just got air conditioning in it. You still don't own nothing. You see how that goes? And as long as they keep your control of your mind, that's where you're going to be. Why am I telling you this? Because I love you. Why did I tell you about the pineal gland? Because I want you to know about it. Why you need to know about it? Because he done made you think that you ain't crap. You need to know about melanin. The blacker you are, the more expensive you are, and the more powerful. Oh. Let me add this. Let me add this to you now. Melanin also allows you to be able to vibrate at highest frequency, the highest vibratory frequency here. Now, when our ancestors put all that information in the ether, that was to transcend all the time, and it would never be able to be destroyed or decayed. That's just like when Brother Billy Carson talks about Thoth, the emerald tablets of Thoth, when they was looking for a way to write this information down, and it lasts for thousands of years. Then they put it on some stones, but it kind of decayed over the years. But then they wrote the information on emerald tablets. And however long ago they did that, 10, 15, 20,000 years, I don't know, it's still legible today as if they just wrote it this morning. Now, the ether for us comes up out of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of our great ancestors. And you hearing brothers and sisters now talking about the ancestors, the ancestors. Why do you think these brothers and sisters are saying these things about positive energy? You hear the conversation now? Positive energy, the ancestors, giving out positive vibe, meditating. That's because, okay, we as a people are coming back to our original position of being gods and goddesses on this planet. For those that say, okay, we was created by God, okay, then God can only create a God like himself. All right. And so this type of information, is what we have been cut off from as a people. And that is actually what made us the great gods on this planet. We got duped. I used to wonder, how the hell did we talk about Mansa Musa, the African king, that way back when he still back then was wealthier than all of the wealthiest nations combined. So how in the world that we supposed to have done all these things as beautiful Nubian brothers and sisters living in great Africa, Mali, Songhai, Timbuktu? Then we have an African general named Hannibal that marched African war elephants over the Alps and sprang down in Europe and whooped their ass. And you all don't know that in the most highest level of military training in America, West Point Academy, that whole military program is based upon Hannibal, the African war general tactics. Y'all didn't know that, did you? You see, they ain't gonna tell you this. All of that Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine, when they going up there training their officers, them damn people are learning a black African general war tactics. They ain't gonna tell you this. I mean, this heathen is slick, super slick. He ain't gonna tell you all them generals, admirals, commanders that went to West Point Academy. They were studying an African war general tactics. His name is Hannibal. Need to study up on it. Even the brother, what's his name? Colin Powell. He had a lot of input on the military strategies and things that they were teaching at West Point. Man, I could just go on and on about the greatness of brothers and sisters and how beautiful, we are. Now, I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to close out with this little thing right here. That interracial marriaging, I mean, I've heard brothers and sisters talk down about it, where, black people get with Europeans and everything. And, they basically all had the same thing, them and us and those, I want to share this with you as a thought. You can go out and chase it down if you want. But 9 DNA series don't mix in with 6 DNA series. You cannot fit 9 into 6, but 6 can easily fit into 9 because 6 can be brought up, with information. The intelligence can't be brought up to a level of a 9 because you're missing 3 series, DNA series. So that means you just don't have it. Now, if you don't have it, you can't do it. It's not there. You're short. I mean, you like short, like you never mean short before. You short. So when you married into a European, and I know this is probably gonna hurt for some people. Truth is the truth. And I'm talking about a European strain of folks out of that Europe, rock piles of Europe. And I'm not talking about the Asian, the Caribbeans, those brothers and sisters. I'm talking about that one Euro Gentile, blonde haired, blue eyed demon that walked the planet. When a 9 DNA series go into them and reproduce a baby, the baby is not whole. And I know you all gonna probably, like, what is Nubian King on Lawson? It's just like that. They come out and some you have people talking about, oh, we got beautiful hair, you look cute, da 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 da, but they are physically not whole. They cannot achieve what whole 9 DNA series, like mixed. For those that's in the Bible, it's like the toes mixed with clay and iron. Uh-huh. And I've heard reports years ago, they squashed this because again, they masters of, manipulating your thought process. I've heard there are times when Europeans impregnate black women and the black women abort those babies, bodies can't, reject it because of the fact that that's a 6 and a 9 and it's not compatible. So just have to think about that. Who you get with. 9 can produce 9s. And this is serious, When I hear the brothers and sisters talking about consciousness, the ancestors and all of that. Now I'm telling you that the ancestors left a lot of information for us in the ether. And the only way you connect and tap into the ether, you got to get your body right. You got to get it cleansed out. You can't be, all full of dirt and junk and just eating anything that, your brain won't be able to vibrate at that higher frequency that will cause you to be able to tap into the ether because you got so much crap in your system. You got to do the liver flush, you got to do the kidney flush, your colon cleanse, you got to do the blood cleanse. Okay. And once you get all that done, now you can begin to vibrate at a higher frequency. And in your meditation, you can begin to tap in. A lot of things come to me early in the morning. Like right now, it's 5:42 in the morning, right? A lot of things come to me around this time. And it's like the night has been out there and most people are asleep, resting, and it's very still. And it's been very still for several hours. And then the download comes to me. As I lay my head on my pillow, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, it's given to me. But, at the same time, like I told you, you got to get your body cleansed. You can't just do this full of pork and meat and garbage and all kind of stuff. It don't work like that. Okay? Tap into that pineal gland, do your meditation, and think about some stuff. You remember I told you the children, we made the water vibrate in the glass. The children used to sit down, my babies, and meditate. I used to take them out. People walking by. That person just walked by with the added shake his in the right hand. What kind of shirt they had on? You know what I'm saying? And so it made their mind sharp. Mental exercise is just as important as exercising your muscles. Okay? So we're talking about the power of the mind. We're talking about the power of the Nubian king and queen mind. And the next time, this has been an hour, but the next time, I'll share with you about the brother and sister, the Nubian king and queen coming together as one, and the power of that. That's a good one. That right there is a good one. I'm gonna leave you with this tidbit. There is a reason why you all seeing, we're seeing the terrible relationship between black man and black woman. There's a reason why our men are turning to gays and our women is turning to men, and they don't want you to say nothing in a relationship. There's a reason behind that. Now I'm gonna just drop this on you and close out, and I'll talk about it 2-3 days or something. I do another video. The ultimate power can only be achieved when the Nubian king and queen is together in harmony. Have you ever noticed that most to all of your successful men are married with a woman on their arm? Notice that? Even Oprah Winfrey, she got Stedman, they together. They may not be married, but you see, they together. Jamie Foxx, all of them. Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, all of them. Will Smith, even though that's a they together. But it's a reason when you look at the African American community, why is it that our relationship is on raggedy? Seriously. Our girls running around, I don't need a man. I'm an independent woman. I'm a boss bitch, bad bitch. And the brothers walking around just trying to have the biggest Jones and screw for what that? Because the real ultimate power can only be achieved when the Nubian king and queen is functioning together in harmony. And kabam, there it is. So it's a reason why our relationship is destroyed. They trying to keep us under their feet. And they aiming at the mind. Look at our children. Why were babies like that? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead on and close out right here. I gave you a lot of stuff to think about and be proud to be who you are. Whew. I'm going to go to sleep now. You all saw the other video. I work at night. I got in today about 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been on here with you all because I love you. I do. That's why I do this. It's out of love for my people. You understand? And I know some of y'all get on my God. Some of you clowns just get on my mama. You know what I'm saying? But I love you knuckleheads. My people. Beautiful chocolate all over the place, doing all kind of stuff. I love you folks, man, because y'all my people. Even though you may not know it, I do. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. Keep living. Don't let them stress you out. I owe money just like everybody else do. You know what I'm saying? They call me. I don't even get upset with them. Because why? Shit, I owe them the money. And niggas supposed to holler. Call him, ask about somebody. Nigga, please, I ain't got nothing. Who? What you think? I'm gonna holler back at him? No, hell, I owe him the money. Let that nigga holler. He gonna get tired eventually. He said, okay, he gonna hang up the phone. Anyway, I told you this because I love you, man. How much I love you. Shit. I love you a lot. Love you from the basement of my heart to the attic of my mind. I love you 24/7. That means I love you all the time. All right? That's it. Bye.